Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through a list of what you need to get started with watercolors. And don't worry, I'm not going to overwhelm you with lots of detail. We're just going to create a simple list of what you need to get started. If you're not a subscriber, please be sure to hit subscribe below so that you can see more videos from me. First things first, it's important to get started with a good watercolor paper. I like to use the Canson watercolor blocks. They're nice and portable, easy to use, and they keep each paper stretched so that when you're done your painting, you can simply take a razor blade along the perimeter of the first paper, cut it off, and you'll have a nice flat sheet. Next up is my paint tray. I like to use an ice cube tray. I used to use regular paint trays from the art supply store, and I found they just weren't working for me. What I like about the ice cube tray is it keeps each of my colors separate. That way, they don't bleed together and become a muddy, brownish color. As for paints, I like to try out a variety of colors to see which ones I like best. When you're starting with watercolor, I recommend getting a small paint tray that has each of the colors you'll need in order to get started. Once you get a little more comfortable with watercolors, you can start picking up individual tubes of color. Pick out the colors you like best and have fun with it. For brushes, it's good to have a nice variety. I like to have a flat brush for doing a wash, a couple of round brushes for your larger swaths of color and even some detail using the point of the brush. I like to use a nice angled brush for getting the texture and fur. And then I use a liner brush. This allows me to do that really fine detail. With watercolor, when you're doing white, it's always ideal to leave the white of the paper to shine through. When that's not possible, or when you've forgotten to leave a certain part white, it's always nice to have a little bit of gouache handy. I also like to use a gel white pen. I find that this allows me to get a level of detail that I can't quite get with the gouache. For my water container, I like to use a container that has two sides. The reason for this is the one side, I like to keep it dirtier. This allows me to rinse off my brushes in between and then get the cleaner water for using my washes and laying down my first coats of water. I also like to use a spray bottle when I'm painting with watercolors. I use my spray bottle to wet all the paints in my tray as well as for cleanup afterwards. I'll sometimes spray down my whole desk and then wipe it off with a paper towel. So that is everything you guys need in order to get started with watercolor. Thank you for watching and don't forget to hit subscribe. See you next video.